What's up, everybody? Okay, let's make sure this is all working. We had some technical issues last night as well, so that's another reason why we didn't go live. But sounds like everything's working. We'll, of course, see as people start to filter in. So what? Last night was kind of crazy. I'm sure everyone that cares, at least, was well aware that it was the Video Game Awards. Honestly, I hadn't really forgotten, but I had forgotten that it was like that night. That it was last night. I thought it was actually tonight. So there was a lot to talk about. A lot of stuff got announced. I don't really want to go too far in until we start seeing a little bit of people in the chat, so we can kind of talk about everything. But I think one of the things I'm going to use. I'm not a fan of the website, or at least their reporting. But I do like the way IGN pulls everything together, so I think we're going to use IGN to kind of drive this tonight. I just wish they weren't so ad heavy. Let's see. Oh, I cannot wait for Kingdom Come 2. It's going to be so good. Let's see. There we go. This is what I want. No, that's not what I want either. Okay. I mean, I guess we could just. Oh, how about I use their fucking website? Their website's actually not that bad. Thanks. View all categories. There we go. Okay, everybody ready? View all categories. All right, so first thing we're gonna start. Whoa, we are laggy as shit. Let's exit that. I'm exiting a bunch of stuff, hoping that works. What's up, Jim? I don't know why it's so. Yeah, I mean it's pretty fucking laggy. Let's see if this changes anything. I mean that's a little better. It's weird coloring though. See if we move the backlight down. I mean that's a little better. Let's see. We go high def instead of 1080. Still wild. I'm gonna play around with this until for just a second. Hang on, guys. No, I mean I think that's going to have to be what we get. Need a hairline? You talking about what's up, Brad? You talking about one of those big things you got behind you? Maybe we drop down to 24 FPS. Maybe that'll work. It feels like it's super delayed, though. Okay. I think we might be going no camera tonight. This is weird, but I think it's what we're going to have to do. Shit. Does that work? Yeah, we're just gonna have to deal with it. Oh well. Sorry, it's gonna be a weird stream. Everything's gonna be like, I think maybe a second in front or behind the voice. I'm not sure. Oh well. At least what I see. It might be different from what y'all see, but what I see, everything's a little delayed. So let's talk about this. Okay. The Video Game Awards. The awards for the best video games this year. Now, there wasn't a lot. I mean, let's be honest. It was kind of a shit year in video games. I mean, like 1,200 people, but actually more. I think. Oh, I see what you're talking about. So like 1,800 people have been fired out of the industry. So this has been a pretty shit year. And I'll tell you something. Something that really annoyed the shit out of me was the Video Game Awards brought this guy out. Let me see if here we go. This guy, Amir Satva, brought this guy out to 12,000. Shit, Brad. Brought this guy out to tout him as this savior of the common man who had been fired from the industry. This guy apparently had like created this Excel sheet, passed it around everyone that had been fired, and basically said, fill in your information, fill in what you do. We're going to try to find you jobs. We're going to try to help you out with bills, all this stuff. And they have been touting this guy as like a regular guy who just wanted to help his fellow video game designer. The problem is, this dude is one of those fuckers that fire people. This guy is one of the reasons why the video game industry fucking sucks right now. This guy works for, I think it's called Tencent, which is a huge conglomerate. Is actually part of Amazon Video Game Amazon Games, and his main job is to find video game companies for Amazon to buy and then clean house. So he's the problem. He's the guy that does all this shit, and the Video Games Awards are just giving him this award as if he's helped save the industry when he's a fucking shill. When he's one of those guys that he's the reason 18,000 people, 12,000 people have been fired. Like it's like when it's like when Biden awards the people that shell for him the Presidential Medal of Freedom. It's just part of the contract you got for being the biggest shill on the internet. This shit pisses me off because what you have is these thousands, well, hundreds of studios that some of them have made some pretty fucking good games. You know, we can go, and this is just the cycle of video games. It happens every year. You know, you get studios like Pandemic from back in the day that made really great games like the Mercenary series. And then EA buys them, shutters the almost 90% of the staff, and really just buys them so that they can't compete against them anymore. And that's what this guy does. It's just disgusting. But fuck him. Okay, so let's go back to this. Well, that's the wrong button. Game of the year. Jesus. Game of the year. Share. There we go. Okay, we're not starting with game of the year. Okay. I don't care about most of these bottom things. But let's look at most anticipated game. Clearly, Grand Theft Auto 6, the most anticipated game. There are very few games that will ever be more anticipated than Grand Theft Auto 6. So this is right. 100%. They got it right here. The problem is this is basically the last time they get it right. But Brad, so here's the thing. AAA games are not for the consumer. They are for shareholders. The consumer just provides the profit from their addiction to dopamine. The problem with this is, as true as a statement as that could be, we no longer get the dopamine. There isn't a single AAA game in the last 2 years that has gone pop. Actually, there's one. There's one AAA game in the last 2 years that has actually netted a profit. And it's Hogwarts Legacy. I mean, I guess you could call, I guess Call of Duty. Sure. But Call of Duty is always going to make money. The problem is that they're not the only AAA games. Look at what was the pirate one? Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones cost Ubisoft over almost $1 billion. Over 10 years they spent on that game. Almost $1 billion. And they haven't come anywhere close to making any of that money back. In fact, if we look now, it's available in other things besides just Steam. But if we hop over to, there we go. If we hop over to SteamDB, which is the one I prefer, the Steam charts that I prefer. Skull and Bones. There are currently 147 people playing this game on Steam. Like that's wild. It was supposed to be the first quad A game. It has not broke. It has 298. Did it break 300 here? It broke 300 players on Steam on December 8th. Let's look at 3 months. So it's been on Steam for less than 6 months. It at launch on Steam, 2,600 players. That's fucking pathetic. Now, part of that is obviously because they didn't launch it on Steam, and so if you bought it on Ubisoft, you're not going to go buy the game again. So these are basically people who either wanted to buy the game again on Steam or are buying it on Steam for the first time. But that is still wild to me. And again, Kareem. So you're saying EA doesn't make a profit? EA definitely makes a profit, but they make a vast majority of their profit on their sports games. In fact, I don't even think they made. I'm trying to remember the numbers, but I might have to look them up. I think they made like a 12% profit on their Star Wars game last year, and they were expecting like 40%. You can't keep a studio alive like that. Like that's just not going to work. And we can keep going with this. Vanguard. Here's another one. Who did this? BioWare. Dragon Age Vanguard. Oh, right. It's not on Steam. Man, someone's got to figure out how to track games that aren't just on Steam. Because that's gonna be an awesome thing. Activision did $8.8 trillion this year on 2 games. And almost every single other dude, you cannot. Companies do not want to spend 80% of profit from one game to prop up the 7 other AAA games they make a year that don't do anything. They'll just stop making those games. And they'll only make this one game. Look at fucking who makes Rainbow Six? Oh, it is. It's Ubisoft. It was so Ubisoft's big moneymaker every year is Rainbow Six Siege. They don't make any other Rainbow Six games because they don't want people leaving that game. And every other game that Ubisoft has made has just failed by no one. People don't play them. They're not fun. Look at the fucking was it Concord? Costs like $800 million to make, and they've already shuttered the entire game. Shut down September 6th, 2 weeks. Game lasted for 2 weeks, cost $800 million to make. That's unforgivable. Helldivers is almost a year old. In fact, I think it is now a year old. And it reached it obviously its peak being back in April at almost 600,000 players over both PlayStation and Steam. But their Steam charts show that every single time they put good new content out, a huge chunk of that player base comes back. But all these other games, they put out new stuff and people don't come back to them. Here we go, Steam chart. I mean, we're at 132,000 people are playing on Steam alone right now. All right, that's my rant about. For now, that's my rant about them. Let's look from most anticipated game. We don't want to talk about that right now. All categories. Best adaptation. These are going to be TVs, movies, things like that. I definitely think they got this right. I never watched Fallout. I didn't play the games. I'm not a huge fan, but I haven't heard a single person say anything like completely bad about the show. I've heard people that they didn't like this aspect or that aspect, but overall, I haven't heard anyone complain about the show, which I think is the mark. That's what you should be able to do. If you could put a show out that the majority of people enjoy, I think you're fine. Multiplayer, Helldivers 2, totally agree, 100% agree. Of course, I've only played 2 of these, Black Ops and Helldivers 2. I thought Warhammer 40K was overhyped. I thought it was boring. I'm not a fan of the button mashing system. And then I don't own a Nintendo or really play Tekken at all. But guys, Helldivers has just been, and this is the travesty of the fact that Helldivers 2 was not nominated for Game of the Year. Complete bullshit. It was like the second highest selling game this year. How can you not nominate that? Let's look at best sports. Let's see. So this, I'm surprised about this. Best sports, and college football was not on this list. The return of college football to video games, and it didn't get nominated for best sport. That blows my fucking mind. Yet WWE did, or as much as I like watching tennis, because I do, the fucking tennis game is not that good. And they got fucking nominated. That's bullshit, man. Sims and strategy. I mean, I like the new version of Age of Mythology. It was updated, but they didn't change the story, which was good because when the big production earlier this year came out, and they had a booth there at I think Gamescom. They had a booth there for Age of Mythology, and the way those people were talking, I really thought that they were changing up the story entirely. I thought they were going to make, some daughter of whoever the main protagonist. I was not. I was going to be really pissed. Best RPG. What we got? What we got? Okay. Again, I don't understand how you could fucking make a DLC a nomination. You can't nominate downloadable content. That's fucking bullshit. I don't care if it's another 30 or 40 hours. It's not its own game. Adventure action. I don't understand what it is with Astrobot. I don't think I saw anyone play that game. Best action game, again, bullshit. I don't care. Honestly, Helldivers should have won everything it was nominated for. Best ongoing, I think Helldivers won this, yeah. Destiny 2 is still going. They got ratio of the comments for requiring a 70 count, but still made it unplayable. And no, brother, it's not even 60. It's 120. Actually, no, I think it's now 118. So it ballooned up to 123. And then 5 of those countries / territories were able to get it back. But yeah, and this is what's annoying about it is Arrowhead has made it pretty clear that they're not the ones that are fucking with the Steam accounts. They want it available in all those countries. And it's Sony that is making it excuse me. It's Sony that's delisting it. So, or requiring Steam to delist it. So that I think that means that they are going to really push this this Sony account, this PlayStation account requirement, which concerns me because I'm really having a lot of fun with this game, especially this new update, which we'll get to. We will get to these. We'll get to the trailers and the new updates. I just want to go through these things. But Cream, dude, the thing that's so annoying about this is you got all these other companies that have tried this. Disney tried it with Disney Plus by artificially boosting their subscription numbers because they offered it with 3 months or free 3 months when you upgrade your phone in 2010 or 2020 and 2021 and 2022. If you go to Verizon or T-Mobile and upgrade your phone, you get a free 3 months of Disney Plus. You usually you get free HBO Max. All these companies do this. It's fucking annoying because honestly, it rarely works because the whole point is to try to get the people in the door for those 3 months and then get them to keep paying. But they don't keep paying. They just cancel the service. And then these companies sit there and they boast about, oh, we've gained, 2.3 million subs in Q3. And then in Q4, when everyone has ended the service, they're down 2.4 million subs. And everyone goes, what the fuck? Where'd they go? Well, they weren't real to begin with. It's why it's one of the reasons why what's his name? Elon Musk tried to get out of the deal for Twitter because they hid the bot info. Now he had originally waived that, but that's a whole nother thing. Best performance. What was that? Oh, it's like sound performance. Okay. Don't care. Who got best music? I can't believe Helldivers was nominated for that one. They might not have deserved to win that one, but they should have been nominated. That music's beautiful. Okay. Astrobot won Game of the Year, and I just think it's fucking bullshit. You've got you got a trading card game and Balatro, a fucking trading card game, and DLC that got nominated for this fucking shit. I don't understand what the criteria are for this. You should have to be a video game release that year, not DLC. It's just, I don't know. I think I'm tired of talking about it. Okay, let's look at this. Damn, they got bright. Okay, so I've played most of the first Mafia game, and I had a lot of fun playing it. The only reason I stopped streaming them on here is because I found out that in the third one, they come down south, and there's a lot of words they say that I didn't really want streamed on my channel, so I just decided to stop. But let's look at the trailer for the next intro to Mafia.
Get up and fight.
Oh, well, okay. We're gonna have to do it this way. I don't want fucking commercial ads. Fuck that shit. Mafia. Mafia, the old country. Here we go. PlayStation.
All of the men in this room are bound by blood. This is a family. And in this family, we follow a code of honor. It is not forgiving. To betray one is to betray all. Do you wish to commit yourself, your life, to this family? I do. To become a man of honor, repeat these words. I swear my loyalty to this family. My flesh must burn like this saint. If I do not keep my oath, welcome, Enzo.
Oh, that's really nice. I like that. So, I am going to make some assumptions here. I don't know if the IGN might tell us. So, coming out in summer 2025 across PC, PlayStation 5, and both Xboxes. Set in 1900 Sicily. My guess is somewhere in the interwar period, probably 1930s. We had new characters, obviously, in Sicily, so it's before the people have come over here to the U.S. Structurally, Mafia: The Old Country is a focused package, a cinematic experience set in an authentic representation of 1900 Sicily. Expect grounded stealth and gunplay mechanics. Structurally, Mafia: The Old Country is more aligned to Mafia 1 and 2 than 3, which was more open world oriented. Okay, so the only issue with this that I have is, again, I enjoyed playing them, but it never really felt like you were allowed to do more than just what you were told in the game. It felt like you always had to follow the route on the map, go do the very next mission. You know, there were characters that would always like say things to you. So it always felt like they were trying to remind you that you need to go do the next mission. No, don't go over here and look at these cars. You need to go do the next mission. And I'm not a huge fan of that. Now, I mean, I could just kind of be reading into what they're saying here, but I don't know. That slightly concerns me, but God, I'm tired tonight. But overall, I mean, it looks good. It looks like it's gonna, have correct guns, shit like that. It's gonna be fun, I think. What else we got? So, what else got announced? Oh, I guess we could look at this fucking Naughty Dog shit. Heretic Prophet. I heard some bad shit about this already, so I'm really curious where this is gonna go. And I'll tell you who I really want to hear his opinion about all this is our good friend, the Sundowners Club. What's up, bud?
What are we talking about?
The new Naughty Dog game. Neil
I haven't.
Druckmann, the guy that did Last of Us.
Well, I played Last of Us. Part 2. I didn't like. They were already
a fucking 4.5 minute trailer. Jeez.
So is that the last game you've done?
Do what?
Is it the last game that Naughty Dog has done as Last of Us?
Yeah, Last of Us 2 was the last one they did.
Okay.
Yeah. This is their, I think, 5th unique story. Ain't shit. Dude. That sounds Colin-esque. Worse. Are you kidding me? How much do you think Porsche paid for that?
Oh God, they got a girl shaving her.
Yeah.
Count me out. I'm already done.
What's up, Lizzie?
Is that a female Star Wars theory?
Maybe if you cleaned your room.
Jordan?
Tell me something good.
Well, you're right, it checks out. He's hiding out around the Superior Moon.
Excellent.
Dude, how is that excellent? He's next to fucking Superior. No one has left that planet in over 600 years. Anyone who even flies close to it is never heard from again.
Superstitions.
No. Superstitions are the crazy rumors about what happened on that planet. These are facts.
You worry too much.
You know what I worry just right now?
Why do space guns always look like
We
shit?
wait for him to leave, or how about we find a new lead?
Oh, look, you got a chick with
He's
a
not worth
patch
it.
over her eye.
Is that fucking what's his name from Silicon Valley?
Oh yeah.
Something how do you say his name?
I just call him 7-Eleven general manager.
That's really what I was gonna say. Is there something Kumar?
I'm wasting my time right now.
Yeah.
Can you please blame him?
Kamal Nunaj.
I don't need another hunter swooping in.
Who is
That's
swooping? No
Carrie
one is crazy
Russell?
enough to go there.
He clearly is.
He is clearly desperate.
And so
It's
am
a
I.
female
So
snake Plissken.
claim him, or I will find another agent.
Yeah, that's what the
I think that's fucking Carrie Russell.
Alright, you know what? There, you're the boss.
How broke is she?
on to
Thank
Johnny.
you.
Listen, kid,
And that's an actress too.
I'll see you on the other side.
That's not Gary Russell. That girl right there, that's an actress.
Yeah. It was actually kind of cute in real life, and they've just pushed her up terribly in this.
Right. Got a Porsche.
I think it's fair to say that a intergalactic Porsche would not have a CD player. And so this is just
This is
Rebel
that's
Moon?
gameplay.
This is Rebel Moon.
Uh,
Like this just looks. There's nothing about that makes me think I need to go buy a PlayStation to play this game.
yeah.
That's sad, man.
Listen, so what percentage of the gamers do they think are female?
Dude, it's like less than 10%. I mean, it might be it might have gone up by now. You know, there might be 20%. But the fact that they continue to make video games as if, you know, 60 or 70% of players are women and 60 or 70% of players don't want to see beautiful people in their games. It just blows my mind.
They're just throwing money away. I have no listen. I give everything a chance, you know, unless it's Lucasfilm, and then I just don't pay attention anymore. But
Yeah.
if I see 30 seconds into that trailer, I'm like, I'm out. Like, I got no interest.
Yeah,
in that.
it's just bad acting too. Like the voice, the script reading, you know, that may all change further in, and you know they may be better later. But
I don't want to see a shaved head girl
yeah,
chasing a guy, and she's reporting to another woman with an eye patch. It's stupid.
yeah, this is not crappy '80s movies. No offense.
Well, but those actually had people that seemed like, you know,
And beautiful.
villains, you know, or yeah, like
So you and I are getting ready to talk about Taylor Sheridan. But
Yep.
before we do, I got one last trailer that I gotta watch. So the movie came out last year, and it was, or actually, I guess it came out this year, and it was complete dog shit. Borderlands.
yep.
But
They pulled it after like 2 weeks.
yeah, they did. But we are getting a Borderlands 4 game, and as much as I was not a fan of the third game, because they just kind of moved away what was fun about it and made it you had to do too much stuff in the beginning area, and so it just
I only
felt
played the first
boring.
game.
Yeah, so the second one I think is one of the best sequels ever made. But let's watch this. And clearly I'm going to have to play 3 so I know what's going on in 4. Oh, shit.
Oh, is this another girl?
It is, yeah. But there's been girls in this entire time, so it doesn't feel that weird to me.
The main character?
Maybe I really do need to watch 3 or play 3 because I don't know what the fuck that is happening here. And Handsome Jack. I guess it's just a cinematic. Yeah. My God, that was a black female character with like actual hair. It wasn't like shaved. Oh my God, hang on, was that a fucking pod racer? It's a pod racer.
Yeah.
I've always liked the look of these. It was always such a unique thing. And you want to talk about something that actually does deserve like crazy like hip hop music in the trailer.
Yeah.
It's Borderlands, not fucking what was it that did it? Gladiator 2.
Yeah.
Put the fucking hip hop song in there.
So that band that they're playing there is from Dublin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Post punk. So they do fit. That okay. I might give that game a chance.
Yeah. Again, the only reason I didn't play the third one is just because I
Maybe.
just kind of fell out of that mood rather quickly. But I got back into it.
But you could that trailer though. The only thing that concerns me about that trailer is you couldn't really tell anything about the game.
Yeah,
like
100%. Yeah.
So it could be trash and it could be decent. You know, like you
Mhm.
know. So that what'll probably happen there is for me to play something like that, I would probably just kind of wait and see what
Absolutely.
what the feedback is on it first. I mean, I'm not going to excitedly jump into it,
Mhm.
but like a Space Marine or something like that.
Yeah,
But,
which I know several people there are regretting buying that.
or even if it sucks, I'll be playing the Game of Thrones game. Like,
Oh, I'm dude. Day
Yeah.
one, I'll be in line buying it if I have
Yeah.
to. Like,
so, but
and
that one,
remind us, it's supposed to take place during.
It's around the time of the wildlings attacking the wall, right?
Yeah, it's season 4. That's right. It's basically supposed to take place during season 4. So,
which is a
you
cool
start
time
with-
during the whole Game of Thrones world verse,
Yeah.
right?
So you start with the death of Joffrey, and you go through Stannis defending the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's shit. Where is
So Ramsay, the Boltons have already taken Winterfell.
Yeah, you've got Arya and the Hound marching towards the Bloody Gate.
Yeah.
Brienne and Podrick are heading toward.
Tywin's not dead yet.
Yeah. What's his name has just gotten. Jamie has just gotten back to King's Landing. Shit, there's a lot you could do in that game.
Yeah.
Do we have anything beyond just season 4? Like, do we know like they're expecting 2026? I feel like if anyone knows this, you know this.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be, dude. That's gonna be huge if they could pull that off and make it fun and not that lame ass Game of Thrones game someone
all
made.
we know is it's 2025, so it's coming out next year.
Oh wow! So they've
Yeah.
been working on it.
Yeah, the Kings Road game.
Yeah, that the
Yeah. Return action RPG featuring White Walkers, giants, and Jon Snow.
yeah. Action RPG. That's sounds like fun.
So Okay. It's right now. It's saying Kings Road is an action adventure RPG set in Westeros, but it's only for mobile.
Oh, I don't. Okay.
So, are they going to release? Is that just a first release?
The
Okay. They aim to release the Kings Road at some point next year in the Europe. So we don't know yet if it's coming to like PC and other platforms. So it's just mobile, which has me not as
yeah, I'm kind of out on that.
yeah. To me, that's not
Um,
like a real fleshed out game.
yeah, I don't. That shit bugs the hell out of me.
But I will say that like there's going to be Hogwarts Legacy style games coming
Mhm.
soon in the Game of
Yeah,
Thrones.
yeah.
They're working on them now. So
They well, that's why I was so surprised when you said 2025.
yeah. So like
Um,
I'm in no rush. Get it right. Get
yeah,
it right.
absolutely, absolutely. Don't pull an Ubisoft. Don't fuck this shit over. There could be there's billions of dollars there, and they need it. Warner needs that money. So
Well, Hogwarts Legacy did well, didn't it?
yeah,
It
it
did
made
well.
$1 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they and the second one's going to make another billion.
Yeah. Don't change up the system. Do the
Yeah.
same Game of Thrones you did with Hogwarts Legacy.
Yep, absolutely. Which is why I'd rather put that. I'd rather that the real game get put somewhere closer to the middle of the Targaryen dynasty rather than something like I don't know, maybe 10, 20 years after the dance. There's still a bunch of shit going on. There's still a bunch of warring factions. You could have a pretty cool game.
Yeah.
But and we actually do have a trailer for the King's Road.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of deceptive because it's when
I
you
totally agree.
mobile game, it's like you're not really getting anything other than just a little CG trailer.
Yeah.
Not really showing the game.
To be brave. In the name of the Father, I charge you to be just. In the name of the Mother, I charge you to defend the innocent. Arise, a night of Lennon's rest.
Of where? Oh, that's that
On the
music.
outpost of the wall, right?
Yeah.
Castle Black is the only thing standing between the White Walkers and the Seven Kingdoms. We could use your help.
I'm nothing but a northern bastard from a powerless house.
Don't underestimate northern bastards. Someone must gather the support of the great houses.
Attaining your father's name will be hard. Making your own will be harder. It is up to you to decide which is more worth your while.
Well, wait. Why is there a dragon?
Modesty won't get you very far in King's Landing. Do at least try to feign a little arrogance. We find it familiar.
Well,
You've
so
seen
it's
the White
loosely
Walkers
based
yourself.
on season 4.
You know
Yeah, because the dragon wasn't that size.
they have
Yeah.
to be stopped.
And they hadn't gone that far. Yeah, very loosely based on season 4.
Was he just on the ridge there at
Yeah.
the same place?
Yeah. I
Beyond
must have
Wall?
missed him in that episode.
Yeah.
John.
Wait a minute. John's been there.
Done.
And
John's
it's
been there
just the two of
twice?
them. It's just the two of them.
Yeah.
Like it or not.
Wait a minute.
Winter.
So John's already been to that same location twice?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, then he's an idiot. Why did he show back up in season 7? You would think in season 7 he'd be like, "Hey guys, I've already been on that ridge. We're gonna get slaughtered."
Yeah, let's go to a different place. Oh my gosh.
Nah, they're just they're just bringing in.
Yeah, it's
locations.
just a stupid little mobile game.
Yeah.
But honestly, I do hope it's successful because that'll drive Warner to just go full metal in a console game.
Yeah.
Which again, fucking Hogwarts Legacy, $1 billion.
Yeah, I mean.
So we have an episode left of Yellowstone.
Yep. And then he's launching the newly Yellowstone, and the reason why he's changing the title is because
so they can get it off of Peacock.
That's how he gets it off Peacock. Yeah.
Yep.
So they're saying it could be like Remnants of Yellowstone, Yellowstone Legacy. He's going to keep Yellowstone in the name and just change another part of it.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be like
but he's gonna have to bring in some other big actor because these people can't carry that show.
Did you see what Luke Grimes said? Kevin Costner's exit made it the easiest season we filmed.
He said that?
Yeah.
Well,
but to be fair, it is an easy season because there's only like 4 locations.
Yeah. Well, and what he's saying is
also, of course it's easy. You filmed 6 episodes.
Well, what he's saying is that they didn't have to wait on Kevin Costner's schedule. A lot of the complaints of the last few years was they would sit around and wait because these people didn't have other projects.
Yeah.
And they'd have to wait for Kevin to show up. But I don't think they can do a new show without a bigger character in the story. Because Beth,
so you think they have to use someone like a consistent villain to be the big guy?
No, I think they need a protagonist. I think they need a character that you can root for, that is the main character. Rip and Beth and Casey are supporting characters. You cannot.
Yeah, but Rip is so popular, dude.
You can't build a whole show off Rip. He can't carry it. There's no way.
Well, especially because if you have too much Rip, it becomes it's too manly of a show.
Yeah, he's not that multidimensional as an actor either. Like, listen, I'm not saying that people can't strike gold and become a star, years after they've been in the business, but he's been doing this for almost 40 years. Cole Hauser's been around like for 30 something years.
Yeah.
And he's always been a very good supporting actor.
Wait, who is he in The Breakup?
I think he's the brother, isn't he?
Oh shit, he is. That is funny. Oh my god. It's so weird to see him without the beard.
Yeah, his best role, before Rip, was what was it? He was really good in Pitch Black, but the role I'm thinking about is outside Dazed and Confused, Higher Learning. He was a skinhead in Higher Learning.
Oh my god.
He was great. He was really great in it. But again, his whole career is supporting character.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, but that's who he is. Beth can't carry the show. Luke,
dude, if they try to make Beth the main character, I think the show gets 2 more episodes and canceled. No, Beth is so unlikable.
Yeah, it won't make it. They need now. Maybe this is the plan: is for him to try to sign this deal with McConaughey to come in, and this new show is where McConaughey plays a character. I don't know, but he's got to have a heavy hitter from an actor to be the main character to step into the story.
I honestly don't want McConaughey in this.
Well, I'm not saying McConaughey for sure, but I'm just saying he needs somebody to step in. And Kurt Russell. I don't care. Like, it's got to be somebody.
Be awesome. Kurt Russell not doing shit.
Kurt Russell could be somebody to come in and kind of bring back, the legacy to the ranch. Oh.
Cole Hauser's great granddad is one of the Warner brothers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he didn't get any money out of it, but that is true. His family, he comes from old Hollywood. He was raised Cole Hauser, I believe, in Small Town Republic, you can look this up. He spent time like riding horses out on the ranch where Spawn Ranch, where
Really?
yeah, where
what's his name built his compound.
Yeah. Charles Manson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was a working ranch back in the old Hollywood days when they did the movies.
Mm-hmm.
And then Charles Manson took it over or kind of settled there with his hippies. Manson, yeah. In the 60s.
Jeez.
But yeah, Cole Hauser's got a long history, but he was in School Ties, he was in Pitch Black. But they need to bring in someone to be the guy. It's like,
yeah, no, I agree.
I've seen enough of Luke Grimes and enough of Rip and Beth to know that, like,
look,
this
I
season,
like Luke. I like Casey. I think Casey's a fun character, but the person, and it still pisses me off that we have seen him once since. But I wanted more of fucking Lee. Lee was awesome. And we got 90 minutes. And then he yelled and bled out of his mouth at Casey during his spirit trip.
Yeah.
But you know who's a bitch now? Fucking Jamie.
Yeah. They ruined his character.
He is a pussy.
You know what? I think they never committed to him being a real villain.
They kept going back and forth.
Yeah.
Either let him be the bad guy and hate the family, or let him back into the fold, earn everyone's trust, maybe don't get Beth to forgive because Beth should have moved on. That may sound harsh, but it's been 35 years, lady. Get over it.
She's not a good character. I mean, she was in the first season or two because you were kind of figuring out her, the angst of her, but there was no development from there. It did
absolutely. Well, and then she had that moment where she had like decided to be good. I was like, oh, and I think it lasted for half an episode.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you something that's really bugged me about this season so far is it feels like they've decided, okay, so we've been spending a little too much money. It's time to start downsizing. And they keep doing it by killing people. Like, dude,
Tater, you okay, Tater?
I've never been that upset about the death of a character. And then fucking Colby, right? Yeah. Fucking Colby dies. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Fucking rescuing Carter too.
Yeah, Colby. Yeah, he got stomped.
Yeah, honestly, I felt bad for Teeter. Like, I actually felt bad for her.
I mean, I guess stuff does happen on a ranch. Like, if someone doesn't have experience, you're going to be told, listen, don't go near that horse. That horse is not broken. That horse is going to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I guess it still could happen because, one, in the story, a lot of these ranch hands had left to go to the 4-6s in Texas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they're shorthanded, and he makes a decision, hey, I'm going to feed this. I'm going to provide water for this horse, right? So
the other problem is, I don't know if I just missed it, but they keep talking later on. They Rip and him keep talking about how he told him not to go in. It's like, when did you tell him?
Yeah,
this is just stuff happening off screen.
Yeah.
Something I like though, and because I've always liked the governor, the former governor, I guess.
Yeah, the lady.
I've always liked her in the show. Like every single time I'm like, she's doing a great job. I think she's done a real good job of kind of replacing John Dutton a little bit in this.
Yeah, that's she's Wendy Moniz.
Yeah, she's done a very good job.
Yeah, and again, that's another character That's another character that they did not. So she has a relationship with Costner in the show, and then all of a sudden she's gone for like a season, and he finds the environmental activist. I'm like,
Yeah.
Piper Parabo, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
And we didn't need that character.
Coyote Ugly.
Yeah, but we didn't need her in the show.
Yeah. No.
They should have.
And what's so weird is, you know
what they should have done? They should have taken the girl that you were saying is really good, the governor, Wendy character, and they should have had Dutton having a relationship with her, but then also them being on opposite sides of the political situation around the ranch and the airport. They should have had them.
So like since it was her agreement, just like, but does she stick around and not become senator, or do they keep the like long distance thing going?
I think what would be interesting would have been her as a senator and him as the governor, and them butting heads, even though they have this relationship, right? Like I would have rather seen that than him picking up the girl, protesting in the streets.
Like it made for some fun like one-liners. Like when he criticizes her for the whole vegan thing.
Right.
Like it's the same thing with Landman. There's some really good moments in Landman where it's just true. Like, if we went electric right now, it would take over 30 years for the infrastructure to catch up.
Right.
It is an impossible thing. And the fact that the state of California, state of New York, all these states are trying to force it. It is the dumbest situation. And even further, the fact that you've got states like Arizona. 60% of Arizona's power comes from nuclear power. But they're dumb because they sell the rest of it to the 4 surrounding states. Why not just go full fucking nuclear?
Well, because it's what they said on Landman, the show. The word nuclear scares the shit out.
Absolutely, it scares the shit out of
Even though it's the cleanest way environmental to
cleanest and the most ability to renew. Exactly, small time republic. Going electric is not clean either.
Absolutely right. That's
one of the biggest gaffes of Joe Biden's presidency was being able to get the Secretary of Energy to admit just how bad electric is.
Do you know how much our consumption of women's makeup and plastic, and us utilizing plastics in our kitchens and in our garages and in our IT and is all demands oil.
Yeah.
Gasoline going into cars. It's like, as humans, we just about everything we touch on a daily basis, including for some women out there, their vibrators, it requires oil to make the rubber and the plastic.
Fucking water bottle right here. Oil.
Jason Momoa would get pissed at you for drinking out of a plastic water bottle. You remember when he put a tweet out about Chris Pratt going off on him about plastic?
Vaguely.
Yeah, he kind of went off about Chris Pratt, and Chris Pratt was like, "What the fuck, dude?" And then he apologized. Supposedly, Jason Momoa is a big asshole.
It doesn't surprise me. So Sheridan seems to have. I put it in the title. I don't know if I get a feeling it's going to get in trouble with YouTube, but Sheridan seems to have kind of cucked Costner this season on.
I think
Yellowstone.
so. I think
like I think if you could probably add up his entire screen time throughout the first 5 seasons and get less than we've seen him in 2 episodes of this season.
Yeah. And how about how Costner mentored Jimmy for like 5 seasons, and then all of a sudden, like last week or whatever it was, you have the Travis character going, "Hey Jimmy, John Dutton died. You need to go home."
Yeah.
Like, hey man, he's dead. What happened?
Dude,
you don't know.
the way all of that was handled, the way every single, literally the only one that I thought was good at all was Beth calling Rip.
Yeah.
That was the only one that I thought was treated the way that's obviously how it's going to happen.
And Casey.
Pulling up. Yeah, because he would have heard for the law enforcement grapevine. There was a 1056 at the
And
governor.
when Casey goes home, what's her name? Is it Monica? What's his wife's name?
Monica.
When Casey goes home and he does what a PTSD, a soldier of war, does, she knows that something's badly gone wrong, and he can't verbally communicate to her. Right? He's on shutdown mode.
Yeah.
And they did that scene was very good. Luke Grimes plays a guy that has seen dark shit.
Yeah. He does it very well.
Anybody that that's been through that gauntlet, they don't, talking about it is not really an option.
Mm-hmm.
They do that well, but yeah, I think this week I was laughing because he was totally. I mean, Travis, Taylor Sheridan's character Travis has been on the show 7 or 8 times.
Yeah.
5-minute increments, and all of a sudden he's in this one 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah, in the hot tub or playing strip poker. Yeah. And then he gets Beth to start strip, and he's just like, no, I'm just fucking with you. I'll be there.
And you read some of the reviews and the Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, all of them, they can't stand Taylor Sheridan.
Yeah.
Like, they are waiting for this guy to stumble.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they want him to fail so bad. But the problem is he doesn't have, even though you and I we have some shows we like better than others, and we haven't really talked about Linus, but he doesn't have any losers at this point.
Yeah, they're all
his
even
shows are
Linus,
hits.
which I think is the weakest of his shows, is pulling excellent numbers.
Linus, both seasons are in the top 10 right now streaming.
Yeah.
Both seasons, which means when you start to see that, season 2's out, it's number 4, number 5 and streaming, and then you see season 1 is number 9, that tells me that an audience is coming back and watching. I got to watch season 1. So that means that the audience is growing. And look, people talk about streaming providers. He is Paramount Plus.
Yeah, he is. He's the only reason that. So prior to when did 1883 come out?
2022.
All right, so prior to 1883, the number 1 show on Paramount Plus was SEAL Team, and they actually ended up canceling SEAL Team. Well, they wanted to take it in a different direction. I think they wanted to make it a little more Hollywood.
First episode came out Christmas 2021, so early 2020.
Yeah, so they wanted to make SEAL Team a little more Hollywood, and a bunch of the SEALs that are on there, a bunch of the actual SEALs that are both on the show and then behind the scenes, they weren't comfortable doing that, and so Boreanaz just said, "Fuck it, let's just end the show." Yeah, I'm not gonna put them through this, which honestly I think is a very respectable thing.
Which show, did he do the show Angel?
Yeah, Angel and then Bones. Honestly, I think how long did Angel run?
I think the best thing he's ever done has been Angel.
Buffy too, wasn't he?
Yeah, that spun off of Buffy.
Yeah.
Those were massive hits.
Yeah, they were. Everyone's gonna kill me. I have never watched them.
Yeah, at the time, they weren't pulling what Law and Order or Grey's Anatomy were pulling, but they were pulling big in the 18 demographic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I remember watching what was it, Bones a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a great show. I thought he was great on it, but I really did enjoy SEAL Team, and I thought they did a very good job on it. But yeah, it just I think it's one of the issues with when writers either don't stick around or don't. There's no clear end for a story, and they just started making it more about their lives instead of their mission. And so the majority of the final season basically just takes place on base with them talking to each other, which no offense is not what a TV show about Navy SEALs. It's not what people want to see.
I call it the Gary Sharon effect. You know what that means?
No.
So the Gary Sharon effect. Gary Sharon was a singer of a band, and he got hired when Van Halen was looking for a new singer, and so they brought in Gary Sharon, and it wasn't the same rhythm. The songs were, it was just people were like, wait a minute, we want Van Halen, So basically, I think it was after the first time Hagar left, so they'd already replaced David Lee Roth with Hagar, and then Hagar was such a known star that Van Halen sold more records, in the Hagar years overall than they did the Roth years. And so people were still kind of on the Van Halen bandwagon. And then they had a falling out with Hagar, brought in Sharon, and it was just flopped. And so it's kind of like you see on these TV shows, they bring in these writing staffs to write these shows. And after a season or two, they go, well, you're not paying me enough, or you're not, and they move on. And so a new group of people come in, and it's not the same rhythm. So you're like, man, that's not the same show. It's like, it changes. And
well, it's like, so for my generation, I think we would call that the Emily Armstrong effect.
Yeah.
You know who Emily Armstrong is?
She's your generation.
She's the new Linkin Park lead singer.
Oh my God. They did something. They did a show or something, and it supposedly got like a really good response after they announced her. There was a backlash, but then they did something where.
Did they? Because I remember they did a concert probably about a week later, and there weren't a lot of good responses to it.
Maybe I'm thinking, oh no. So what it was they were doing pre-sale tickets for shows.
And
they all sold out.
Yeah.
They sold out like
doesn't surprise me.
20 shows. And that kind of that surprised me, because I'm like, he's gone,
Yeah, I mean, that's Chester was Linkin Park.
Yeah.
I don't know, Pete. I heard her sing. Okay. She is not bad on
she's not bad at all.
8 of the 10 songs. The problem is those 2 songs are the ones everyone goes to a Linkin Park concert to hear. She's bad on them.
Chester's known for the screaming part of his voice, but when he's in the lower register, that's some great stuff. And she can't do the lower register stuff like Chester. But I mean, look, I mean, I wasn't a diehard Linkin Park. I saw him a few times at some of the festivals. Chester was, like you said, he was a big part of it. But they should have done like Audio Slave. They should have when Rage Against the Machine, quit being Rage Against the Machine, they just kind of went and formed another band, and then they got Chris Cornell and Audio Slave. So like, I don't know. It's
that's what who's the guy in Panic at the Disco?
Oh, I don't know the guy. I know who you're talking about.
He's on like his 9th band. Yeah. Or it's either his 9th band or their like 9th iteration of Panic at the Disco. But it's a similar thing where people just leave, and he's like,
Linkin Park should have hired Ronnie to be their singer. It's Linkin Park.
Oh my God.
What's up?
You were talking about when a new season comes out of a show, and it makes that other season or that first season enter the top 10 again. And a great example of that is Reacher.
Fuck that guy.
Look, dude's a dumbass.
Yeah,
but
I'm out on Reacher. I don't want to hear that.
Good show.
That guy's face again.
It's a fucking good show.
How stupid does he look right now, telling all these people, "Oh, you're stupid if you're voting for Trump"? I was like, dude, don't tell people how to vote or live.
It pisses me off when these actors open up their fun. No one gives a shit what you think. Get in front of the camera and dance, monkey.
Hey, how many white dudes for Kamala watched Reacher? He basically went off his own audience. How stupid can you be?
It's so dumb. It's like, there's an article that came out around Christmas time last year, that said, "Hey, if you're looking to bond with your dad this holiday season, go watch Reacher and talk to your dad about it because we promise you he's watched it and has loved it." And that's 100% true. I had about 2.5 hour long conversation with my dad after I watched the first season.
Well,
but this is the 44-second trailer for season 3.
I've been waiting for this moment for some time now.
Who is this guy?
Paulie. He's twice my size.
Last time I saw a guy twice your size was on Mount Rushmore.
Oh, God.
Is it actually lagging real bad?
It doesn't matter. Fuck that.
So
did you hear what I said earlier when you were talking about 2.5 hour conversation with your dad?
What?
I said, my dad's dead. Thanks for bringing it up.
That's okay. We got dead moms in college.
Caleb, some of us can't call our dad and have a 2.5 hour conversation about Reacher. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. Feel good.
I mean, neither of us can call our moms either.
Well, thanks for the double whammy. Boy, what? My weekend's looking great now.
Yeah, you gonna wake up for a 10 a.m. Memphis basketball game.
Dude, that's another. Hey, what's this guy's name? Alan Rickson. Fuck Alan Rickson and fuck Clemson.
Yeah, fuck Clemson. I'll get
Who
behind
the
that
hell
every day of the week.
Star? Who the hell plays a college basketball game at 10 a.m.?
Memphis.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be fair, so does Clemson. Like, that sucks for Clemson too.
But it's 11 a.m. at Clemson time.
Yeah, but they're still playing at 10 a.m. in Memphis, right?
Yeah, but it's at Clemson.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we beat them here last year.
Okay, I find that a little less bad.
And
I
they
thought it was
whined
at
about
Memphis, and they were telling them to play the game at 10 a.m. in Memphis.
Oh, they whined about it the whole time, like all the calls and everything.
It's crazy.
You know, basketball does matter.
I'll tell you what's funny about Reacher. So I really think they kind of went over. I think they fucked up season 2. Like, I really love Surrender Swan. I love seeing her in whatever she wants to be.
Yeah.
I think she's incredibly beautiful. But bringing in the whole team, the former team for season 2, I think was a big mistake.
What book are they basing season 3 off of?
My guess, just from watching that, I think it's like book 5. Let's see. So, and the problem with this is, there's a spinoff coming too.
It'll be somebody else.
Yeah, it's focused on Neagley, the black chick, which isn't a problem. But the issue with Reacher is the books are always very like 98% of everything is done by Reacher.
Yeah,
and putting the team in there on the second season, I think makes the feel of the show wrong. It makes it feel like the show is going to be a what's the word for a bunch of people in the cast?
The ensemble?
Yeah, it makes it feel like it's going to be an ensemble show when it's not supposed to. I mean, the fucking team doesn't show up until book 12 of the series. So
okay,
I want to see this show go back to
the guy that makes him look small is a character called Paulie, who's 7'2", who's played by the Dutch bodybuilder Olivier Richter's, and they're saying based on that character, Polly, the series will be based on the 2003 novel Persuader. Reacher huddles into the dark heart of a vast criminal enterprise while trying to rescue an undercover DEA informant whose time is running out. Then he finds a world of secrecy and violence and confronts unfinished business from his own past. So this dude was fighting is 7'2".
Yeah. I mean, he's probably supposed to be bigger in the story. But yeah, so which means I need to read this book before the show comes out.
Yeah, he is 7'2" in real life. Holy shit.
That's wild.
350 pounds. That'd be great if like they're filming and then they go to film and he looks at Alan Rickson and he goes, I like Trump. And he just knocks the fuck out.
Like what's his name in UFC? There's one of them that did that. That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. All those UFC guys like Trump.
Oh yeah. Well, because he's the reason they fucking have a job.
Dude, I'll tell you, I know you kind of so your best viewed videos have been around Reacher. It's going to be very interesting to see what is the ratings for season 3 with him, because people might, you and I remember him making those comments, but a lot of people probably don't.
I think so. I criticize Disney and Netflix and a lot of these other studios that basically don't tell their actors to shut the fuck up.
Right.
Like the fact that Rachel Zegler has had 3 outbursts now, it's doomed Snow White. Snow White has no chance. But Richardson has said one thing like 13 months ago.
See, I think most people don't pay attention to it as much as we do. And my guess is it's not going to impact the ratings.
I think it's still going to be Amazon's #1 show of the year. I think. Well, what else comes out? Yeah. I think it's going to be Amazon's #1 show of the year.
When does it come out?
February. Okay. Yep. So looking forward. I'll probably do a.
Isn't a Rings of Power come out next year?
No, dude. They just greenlit Rings of Power season 3, and that show takes 2 years to film. And Rings of Power will never be the #1 show, even with their lying numbers, because then they come out like a month later and say, "Oh, it's actually Reacher is the #1 show," which is what they did in the first year of Rings of Power. So they release Rings of Power and they say this is the #1 show we've ever had. 6 months later, Reacher comes out and they're like, this has dwarfed anything we've ever made.
So we got Reacher. So here's some of the shows. So we've got Reacher.
Exactly, small time.
Yeah.
Something in their contracts about not alienating the audience. 100%.
Absolutely. And I think that when you sign for something as big as Snow White, I don't know about Reacher, but like Snow White.
Yeah, 100%.
They ought to take over your social media until the movie's out. Like you give up, you give up your social media. It becomes managed by Disney. Sorry, but that's what I would do.
Absolutely.
So Reacher season 3, Invincible season 3. These are things coming out from Amazon next year. Wheel of Time season 3.
Yeah. Invincible is going to be big. I don't think Wheel of Time will be as big as they want it to be.
House of Spirits. I don't see. Yeah, you know what? You may be right. Reacher may be the top thing from Amazon next
year. And it's either going to be Reacher or Invincible. I don't think Wheel of Time has legs. They've butchered the story from what is in the books. And when you take a story like Wheel of Time that's so beloved by its fans and just ruin it like they have, I don't think you have a chance to be successful. It's like if Disney fucks over Aragon, it's you think I've been vocal about things with Game of Thrones getting fucked over? I will quit my job so that I can make the videos. for if Disney fucks up Aragon.
Yeah.
It will be. I will be the first guy in line yelling about it. Ryan Kittle won't have shit on me. I'm King Kong, motherfucker. Little borrow from Training Day there.
Yeah.
That's a fight. You've heard that story, haven't you? That was completely ad-libbed.
Oh, by Denzel?
Yeah.
Well, listen, there's no honor amongst thieves in the hood. He got taken out.
Damn right he did.
So we're gonna talk about Landman?
Yeah, how so we've got 5 episodes left.
Yep, there's 10 in the season.
Yeah. What do you think so far?
I mean, I love it. It's not without its flaws. There's no
And what would you say is the biggest flaw right now? Because I know what I'm going to say.
not the actress Ali Larter playing the ex-wife. It's how much screen time they've given that character.
Yeah, the amount of screen time that the story of the ex-wife and the daughter have is way too much.
you
right, you do.
Did you mean to spell it Mepis?
Yeah. He don't smell too good.
Look, yeah. So focusing on her character and not more of John Hamm and Demi Moore. I do think they probably intended it to be a little secretive or not show you very much of Demi Moore. And I'm hoping the back end of the season it's going to get more into John Hamm and Tommy.
I definitely think they set that up for this with the end of this episode with the accident that happens, which are okay. There hasn't been a lot in this show so far that I've gone, that is fucking dumb. But the accident that happens at the end of this season or the end of this past episode, where you've got the foreman standing on top of this trailer bed, this flatbed of 40-foot metal pipes, steel pipes of varying diameters, and they're unstrapped. I assumed they were strapped. And he kicks him and just boom falls down and dies. That was so dumb.
I think that was a scene that was just lack of attention to detail because you accomplished the same thing without. But to your point, we were talking about it offline, and they might be trying to set it up to where like he was negligent, it was his fault, not the company's.
Yeah.
But if you had him doing what a foreman normally would be doing on a site like that, which is not standing on top of the pipes, but standing on the ground, complaining to Billy Bob's character, and then and then either the stuff just comes down on him,
or maybe he hits them out of frustration.
Yeah, like
but
a foreman.
Pure 100% negligence. Him being up there, it is entirely.
So if they don't even really cover that part of it, it becomes more another settlement, like where the attorney is, we got another issue. That's not going to make sense to me. It's going to be like, wait a minute, Billy Bob's character had nothing to do with that. Neither did the company. That was so. I want to see how they handle that because it seemed my first gut tells me that they were rushing that scene and they didn't pay attention to the details. Like, okay, in real life, if you're on a job site, accidents do happen. We know this is a dangerous business, but
sometimes you flip a crane.
A foreman is not going to be standing on the pipes and going, "Damn, Tommy, you see," and then kick them. Like, there's no. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. But I mean, so maybe they explain that, or but
the only thing I can think of is that they needed. It definitely seemed like there was too much chill between Monty and Billy Bob. And so I think they definitely needed to introduce another spark. And this could definitely do it. So you've had 4 guys die on your even more. You've had 4 guys. Actually, I think everyone on that plane died.
Of course.
Yeah. So you're dealing with the death of like probably 15 people on your sites and on your road.
You think they're doing this to kind of build up the stress level of John Hamm's character?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the issue is, if we were talking about a slight spoiler, I don't think this is true. But Reddit likes to spoil things, likes to come up with these theories. So again, spoiler possibly. But we were talking about this apparent spoiler that was on Reddit, that apparently John Hamm is going to die at the end of this season, and Demi Moore will take his place going forward in the show. And I don't see that, because I think John Hamm is a bigger attraction than Demi Moore. Now, obviously, 40 years ago, completely untrue.
They're both.
But I think more people would show up to watch John Hamm than Demi Moore.
Well, that depends on what type of Demi Moore you're getting.
Yes, it does. It absolutely does. But I don't think we're getting 65-year-old stripper Demi Moore, who still fucking looks good.
I'm married. I wouldn't know. I don't pay attention.
Is she behind the camera?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Demi looks great. She looks fantastic.
Listen,
when you've got like $400 million and you can
yeah, absolutely,
have,
because you got half of it from divorcing 3 other people.
Well, and never mind the fact that she was the top female star for like 8 years, 10 years in Hollywood. Julia Roberts around the same time. She had her own money. So I mean, her and Bruce Willis were like the super couple, right? So,
and then she got with Ashton Kutcher. Apparently, didn't like that.
And then realized that Ashton, supposedly like little underage girls.
Yeah, which destroys the entire image that he had curated by going for Congress, arguing about all of it.
Yeah. He's arguing before Congress. It's like, by the way, forget about that video when I was at the Diddy party.
Yeah, right? Shit.
He was the #1 guy with Diddy for years.
That's so embarrassing.
A lot of people forget about that, but
yeah. I wonder if that's why the two, who are those two people, are getting back together. J-Lo and Affleck.
Oh, are they?
Well, they have. I mean, dude, I've never seen a celebrity divorce take as long as theirs is taking.
Well, if that happens, he is the dumbest dude in the history.
Completely. But don't they have a kid?
No.
Do they not? Oh, then I don't know why he would get back with her. The only reason I thought that they might is because he thinks he might be able to spare the kid what's going to happen to her.
If you've already been to a steakhouse and had the best cut of meat, and afterwards you got deathly food poisoning twice, you can convince us, hey, but it tasted really, really good. You almost died twice. Pick another steakhouse.
Well, also, that steakhouse apparently has a thing for white parties. So, yeah, definitely pick another steakhouse.
That meat's been hanging in that cold storage for a long time. But okay, so back to Landman.
We're talking about Landman. That's right.
So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Monty. They're certainly setting up that he's just every scene he's in, he's stressed out, right?
Yeah. But why is he stressed? Because what's weird about this is he's made it pretty clear where he stands and everything. He knows that every single person, whether you want to be pro green or throw soup on a painting, which I love. I love these shows where they bring up real life instances.
Yeah.
And they did that in the board meeting or whatever meeting that was of all the billionaires. Or all the oil people, I should say.
Yeah.
And he's made it pretty clear that he doesn't think it's going anywhere. So why is he so stressed out?
I think it boils down to he's trying to get the production out to where they can make the most amount of money
Yeah.
and limit his cost overruns, which settlements and lawsuits are part of that. So, it's a combination of these accidents happening and how much does he have to pay out and what's the liability and is OSHA coming in and all these things that will not.
Which,
just,
by the way, we're 4 episodes from the threat of OSHA and haven't seen OSHA.
Well, and not just OSHA, but also the fact that they could shut down those rigs, and then you've got fines and lawsuits, and he can't produce. So, I think.
But those, see, I feel like being stressed about those rigs that they're having to replace is a little crazy because they've just replaced one.
We're talking about Landman, Ronnie. Come on, you're with the grown-ups. Ronnie.
They just replaced one, and it's now producing like 3,000% more than it was. So the cost of replacing them, and he's already told Billy Bob, I want you to call me after you replace each one. Don't just blanket it. We're gonna do this rig at a time. And I think that's gonna cut down the costs. I think part of the reason he wants to check it a well at a time is because he wants to make sure that they don't just replace them willy-nilly and then find out that only 3 of them are actually going to produce. But I think he's worrying a bit too much. I think they're putting a little too much worry on his plate.
So here's the real question. Did Ronnie graduate yet? Is Ronnie 18?
Yeah, he's Dude, that's a weird question to ask, but I know
Ronnie,
you asked it.
Ronnie, you're 18, right, buddy?
Oh my God.
Because if you are, there's some things about Landman that we need you to watch. Okay, Ronnie, you need to go start watching Landman. They've got this daughter of Billy Bob in it, and the whole show she walks around in her thong. And Billy Bob has an ex-wife who, she's a cougar for you, but she shows a lot.
Well, don't forget, she actually has moved away from cougar to Gamilf, which she pronounced wrong, by the way.
Right, it's a gilf, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's worried about becoming one, right? But yeah, so the girl,
there we go.
Michelle Randolph plays Billy Bob's daughter, and the woke media is pissed off because they say Taylor Sheridan has this girl walking around in her underwear every scene.
I'm not quite sure they don't have a leg to stand on there.
Oh, wait a second.
I think
this is supposed to be based on real life, and blonde-haired cheerleader girls from West Texas are on TikTok dancing around in their underwear a lot. So he's pulling from real life.
Yeah.
We don't write scripts.
I get it, but it definitely feels a little gratuitous at this point.
Ronnie, I'm just trying to be a good influence for you. I mean, I take you under my wing.
Okay. So I know Sundowners Club a little well. I don't think this dude should be an influence for anybody.
Ronnie, that's not true.
Except job-wise.
Listen.
Job-wise, listen to this guy on career advice.
So, Ronnie, I support you in your videos you do, and you need to have one coming out on King's Advisors.
I'm sure he does.
There's a lot of stuff you could clip to pull from mainly pull his stuff up where he's gaming and he's on the history of pirates. There's some good clippable material on there.
I'm sure there is.
Where he's dressed up with a pirate's hat.
A bunch of it already.
No, we love Ronnie. No, so Landman, I mean, dude, it's getting huge ratings. I mean, the last thing I saw was like
1.3 billion, wasn't it?
Well, that's the minutes viewed, 1.3 billion, but then the viewers, it was like 15 to 16 million on linear TV.
Game of Thrones numbers. Like, that's wild.
Yeah.
Paramount Plus, too. Like, Paramount Plus, I think, is like 7th. More people have Peacock than they have Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, the total number of subscribers. But, yeah, man, if Landman was on Netflix,
Oh,
Holy
dude. So which it's kind of funny because
so that's crazy. Wait a minute,
you
Caleb.
think
So
Taylor.
you make a good point. Paramount Plus is like 6th or 7th in the streaming platforms, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's one of the reasons why a lot of it is getting shuttered.
So if it's pulling 15 to now, that's based on linear TV. Is it
It's
possible?
not on TV. It's only on Paramount Plus.
Okay. So is it possible that, yeah, that show, if it would have been on Netflix, you're talking about maybe like 30 million viewers or more?
Dude, I think you're talking like 50.
That's crazy. That's a massive hit. And look, we know Paramount, they just got purchased, right? Or the deal with Skydance
Yeah.
is going through. If I'm Paramount Plus, I'm licensing these shows to come out on Netflix.
Absolutely.
I'm like, hey, I'm gonna run a season on our Paramount Plus, and then 24 months later, and they did that with 1923, didn't they? No.
No.
They put 1923 on Paramount Plus first, and then they put it on linear TV last week.
Yes, yeah, they did. Yeah, last winter, I think.
But if I'm Landman, I take Landman and I say, hey, Netflix, in 24 months, we want you. Let's talk about running Landman on Netflix. Because look at what Suits did.
Yeah,
look at the show Suits.
So Netflix, 282 million. Disney's whole thing, 234, but that's ESPN, Hulu, and Disney Plus.
Okay, still, yeah.
Prime is 205. Max, 110. Paramount and Showtime is 72 million. So, I mean, you're talking about a third of your subscribers are watching.
So December the 3rd. So we'll see the new numbers because I did see 1.3 billion minutes. December the 3rd, it says Landman secured 14.6 million global multi-platform viewers in its first 7 days. That's only the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
It's exclusively learned based on households. This marks the biggest global premiere week ever for a Paramount Plus original.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's growing. So
this, I mean, it's clearly a hit, and I totally agree. Paramount, well, I guess Skydance now needs to decide what they're going to do with these shows because they need to keep them. I think you need to keep your streaming service. I'm not a fan of all these streaming services, but while everyone else has them, I think you need to keep yours, especially because you've already put the money into making it.
It's a bargaining chip for a merger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or a buyout.
So
Small Time Republic, talking about Suits is coming back.
Yep.
It's going to be interesting.
Arrives February in 2025.
It's going to be interesting to see because they're not going to have Meghan Markle in it, right?
Yeah, no. So it's not Suits. It's Suits LA. So what it is now, Gabriel Macht is going to be in a 3-episode arc on it, but the show follows this this private attorney who used to be a ADA or a federal. He used to be a USDA, which is the United States District Attorney, and he's going to private practice and is now having to deal with stuff that he did while he was a federal prosecutor. Okay. So I'm really sure the guy that made the original show, Aaron Sorkin, is writing this show. They're using the same theme song, which was Greenback Boogie, which was just a really fun way to start the show. So I'm pretty excited about it.
So Taylor Sheridan, he's dude smart.
Plus the best
Suits on the new Madison series.
Yes. So the best era of television was called the Blue Sky era, and it was when USA Network had Monk, Psych, Suits, Burn Notice, White Collar, and I think there was one other show, but there were 5 or 6 shows running every day. That they were between either the number 1 or the number 2 show for that day. They were the most popular shows on TV and on linear TV. And this is the first show that's coming back. They've already announced White Collar will be coming back. Now, I don't really know how you do White Collar without Mozzie. Unfortunately, the guy that played him died 2 years ago, which is honestly pretty sad. Willie Corbett, something like that. He was in Sex and the City. But it's going to be very interesting to see how this show goes, because a lot of the reasons that people watched Suits were those actors. So it wasn't necessarily the story, it was the actors. So it's going to be interesting to see how they cast for this show and if that casting works. But I agree that Taylor knows exactly what kind of actors he wants. Patrick Adams, I think, is going to do a really good job on Madison. But who else is on that? That's
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer. Yep.
And what's the girl? Elle Chapman. Elle Chapman is playing Paige McIntosh. An actress named Bo Garrett.
And this is what was originally going to be the 60s Yellowstone show, right? And then he changed his mind, right?
This is one where the patriarch of a New York elite family dies, and the widow, played by Michelle Pfeiffer, they move out west.
Okay.
Where
they move?
To get a new start. Well, we don't know yet, buddy.
Oh, we don't know.
It could be the Dutton Ranch.
Nah, because the problem is, where do you put that show? You'd have to be the 60s show, and it can't be because
No. I think it takes place present day, doesn't it? The Madison?
I don't
What I'm saying is they could be the family that buys the property. See what I'm saying? Is there everything we know so far about spinoff the Madison? Hold on. This just came out 30 minutes ago.
Ooh.
Matthew Fox from Lost is in it.
Okay, so Matthew Fox from what's that football movie?
We Are Marshall?
Yeah. That's where I know him from.
It's funny how when we talk sports, like we don't even have to think about shit; it just comes out.
Yeah. That's like, dude, how many times have you watched that speech at the graveyard?
There's not a sports movie I haven't watched. I don't think. And it's across all sports. There's probably a couple of golf movies.
Yeah, so there's I think Baxter Vance is the only golf movie I've never seen.
Yeah, I watched Legend
of Tin Cup. I've never seen Tin Cup.
Tin Cup's great.
Yeah, but I think the better Kevin Costner love story is For Love of the Game.
Yeah, that's a good one. He was good in Draft Day, Costner.
Dude, great at Draft Day.
Yeah. So the new spinoff.
Okay, so every single YouTube account is calling this the Yellowstone spinoff.
So I'm trying. Okay, how does the Madison connect to Yellowstone? This just came out like 30 minutes ago, and I follow this site like all the time for Yellowstone stuff. Despite the fact the series has been billed as a spinoff, so far very little information is known. Ahead of Yellowstone's apparent series finale, none of the characters from the Madison have appeared on screen, nor has the spinoff ranch been mentioned. That this may yet change for the Yellowstone's final episode when it debuts. In an interview with Variety following the premiere, Voros said of the new show, "It's such a different story. The common ground is the landscape."
Landscape just means ranch.
Yeah, we are in Montana.
Exact landscape.
Okay, so we are in Montana, but it's seen through a completely different lens. So it feels like another facet of this cut stone that's been polished. There are parallels in the scope of the landscape and a human being's place in that space, but it's coming at it from a completely different point of view. The logline for the show explains that the series will be a heartfelt study of grief and human connection following a New York City's family in the Madison River Valley of central Montana. While the show has consistently been billed as having a connection to Yellowstone, thus far it's not clearly exactly how the two series will intersect. Initially, it was reported, let's see, is following the wealthy matriarch played by Michelle Pfeiffer and her family as they leave New York City and head to Montana in the wake of her husband and brother-in-law's tragic death in a plane crash. It's not currently clear whether those details remain accurate. Michelle Pfeiffer and Matthew Fox will star in the show.
So where in Montana is Paradise Valley?
Madison River Valley.
Oh, they're both. It's in the Madison River Valley as well.
Yeah, look up Madison River Valley, Montana.
Yeah, so it's
Matthew Fox is playing a character named Paul, a self-reliant bachelor who loves the outdoors.
Okay, so it's near Bozeman, the Madison River Valley.
Matthew Fox joins former Suits star Patrick J. Adams, as well as Elle Chapman, Bo Garrett, and Amia Miller. Amia plays the daughter of Michelle Pfeiffer. Adams will play Russell McIntosh, a young investment banker who has followed the life path set for him from the start. So that's the Suits guy. He's playing an investment banker.
So he's Jamie.
Yeah. Elle Chapman will play his wife, Paige, a somewhat self-centered woman who indulges in luxurious New York lifestyle provided by her parents and investment banker husband, while Bo Garrett will play Abigail Reese, a resilient and sardonic New Yorker who's a recently divorced mother of two. Miller will play Abigail's daughter. And per deadline, Chapman and Garrett's characters will be the daughter of Michelle Pfeiffer's character. So the girl married the investment banker, she's Michelle Pfeiffer's daughter. And that makes sense because she looks like a young Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, I can see that. So
is McConaughey
here's the problem with this. Here's the problem with this. If Yellowstone is actually supposed to end with the prophecy of the seven generations being fulfilled,
right?
Then, and it seems like what Casey's going to go do is sell the ranch to Chief Rainwater for $1.
Yep. I think so.
So then there's no land for the Madison to take place on.
No, they're going to be in a different.
Yeah, so it's not that ranch. It's going to be a different ranch.
Right. Now, Casey's character can still live in the house they're in now. They're still going to
be around. So what I'm thinking is going to happen, and I'm trying.
You're going to set Casey's son up to take it.
Yeah. Well, the problem is they're either going to make some sort of handshake deal, in which season 6 and 7 gets to be the thing that decides whether or not the handshake deal stands, where he'll sell it back or they'll keep selling or something like that.
Well, because it has to tie in with Rainwater stopping that pipeline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Remember, he was telling his guy, he said, "Listen, we've been out of this fight. It's time to get back in it."
Yeah.
And by any means necessary, like we gotta go to war.
Mm-hmm.
Which means we can't play by the rules. So
but twice we have one episode left to do this.
Yeah. Twice he stared out over that pipeline and he's like, it ain't happening. So that's going to tie into what Casey does. But yeah, they don't have very long to do it. That's why.
Also, they started that pipeline real fucking quick. It's been like 2 weeks.
And they got to kill Jamie because Jamie's not rumored.
Oh, God. Dude, I honestly.
Wes Bentley's not rumored to be in anything moving forward.
Yeah. How do I say this in YouTube language? I hope he does something to himself.
Self-delete?
Yes. Yeah. Let's go with that. Dude, like that's how, like when he was sitting on that ledge with that rifle, I felt so bad for him. And now I just want him to just fuck off.
Yeah.
He's such a bitch.
Yeah.
Like he keeps getting these moments of like, yeah, don't hurt me. It's like just get beyond that breaking point, dude.
Wouldn't it be cool if like they ended it with like Jamie and Beth having like a Cersei and Jamie moment? And then Casey's son looks and they push him out of a window.
This is and then let me guess. And then you wake up, you're in the back of the cart from Skyrim.
And then the show ends when you hear dun, 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 dun. It's like I just did a crossover.
I'm so happy that they kept that music for. Okay, we have to talk about it. You're here. Let's talk about it. So they what is they's name? I'm trying to be inclusive here. Rhaenyra Targaryen. What's they's name?
Emma Darcy.
Yeah, Emma Darcy. Okay, let's pull this up.
Who I like, by the way.
Yeah, look. So, okay, there is a lot to be said for when actresses and actors start making everything about them and start throwing their politics and shit. And you see it a lot with that LGBTQ AI plus 2489232 group. And it seems like every time one of them ends up in a big project, they just go off and they make everything about them. Everything needs to be gay. Everything needs to be queer. All this shit. She hasn't done that once, I think, and I applaud her for it. To the point that I would actually use their preferred pronouns. I can't believe I actually just did use them. Out of respect, because she has respected the thing that I like.
Yeah.
Until this past week.
Well, I'll call whatever, to me, I'll call someone whatever they want to be called, but just don't get mad at me when I don't use, That was the thing that made me mad about the Gina Carano thing is like, it's okay. You want to call yourself whatever you want to call. I'll call you whatever you want me to call you, but don't make somebody else the bad guy because they don't put them in their bio. Like, so if Emma Darcy wants to be referred to as they, that's fine. I don't care. It doesn't impact me. Who cares? I'm just a dude, bro.
So from West Rusty's, who is pretty fucking great when it comes to Game of Thrones shit. Rhaenyra may carry a sword or blade full time in House of the Dragon season 3, as per request of Emma Darcy. All the men in the show don't have to worry about where they put their hands because they're constantly holding the pommel of their sword, which we saw Jace do a lot. That obviously sounds like innuendo, and you can do with that what you want. No, it doesn't. It's literally they're holding their sword. Okay. And all the rest of us are going, where do we put our fucking hands? Anyway, next year, one hand is going to be taken care of. That's what I want. I want a sword, and I've been really clear about that with Ryan, and I think that's happening. What do you think about this?
Well, first, that's not accurate because Varys, Littlefinger, Tyrion, even Ned and Robert, they weren't walking around gripping their swords.
Yep.
In
fact, the only people that were constantly gripping their swords are members of the Kingsguard,
right,
or Queensguard,
and in this particular show, Jace and Daemon.
Yeah. But that's it. The guy she slapped wasn't always gripping his sword.
Aegon doesn't do it.
Yeah.
So maybe Kristen Cole does. I haven't paid attention, but so to me, this doesn't bother. Okay, I don't understand the point of like giving Rhaenyra a sword because where the story's going to go, Rhaenyra's character is not doing anything with a sword, so it's irrelevant. And to be honest, it's not functional because when Rhaenyra is needing to do something, Rhaenyra's on a dragon. And sorry, but you're carrying a sword while you're riding on a saddle on a dragon. It doesn't make functional sense. The bigger problem I have is that this is a pattern. So last season, Rhaenyra's character was in the script was going to have this bonding moment with Mysaria.
Yep, the White Worm.
The White Worm, and women can have a bonding moment without feeling like they need to make out with each other.
Yeah,
any woman will tell you that. Women have best friends, and they don't start talking, and all of a sudden, oh, because we have this bonding moment, let's make out. That's not the way it works. So
unless you're Emma Darcy.
Emma Darcy. So Emma Darcy goes to the director and says, I think this scene calls for them to kiss. And like, no, it doesn't. And they should have said, Emma.
I don't think she does. I'm pretty sure she just kissed her.
I thought I'd read an interview where Emma Darcy was speaking to the director and said, I think that this is
well, let's go with that because that's a little better.
Yeah. So and they should have shut it down. They should have said, no, it doesn't.
Well, like for a couple reasons. One, because they weren't fucking allowed to, because that wasn't in the script and it was filmed during the fucking strike.
But that's another issue is you're potentially violating, you're going to get fined, you violate. Second thing is, at this point, she's cheating on Damon, and that didn't happen in the book.
Yeah.
Like
they were one. They had
so she's
goal.
cheating on Damon. And so it's not just a simple thing of, hey, these two women are embracing. No, like it I don't know why you felt the need to when men have a bonding moment, they don't feel the need to turn around and start making out. Like I don't understand it.
Exactly.
So this is a pattern that this writer's room has had where they're allowing an actor to make decisions that whether you think it's very woke or liberal or based on their sexuality, whatever, it's hurting the story.
Absolutely. 100%.
And so that's the bigger issue I have with it. I don't blame Emma Darcy. I blame Ryan Condal.
Yeah.
Saying,
I blame
this
Ryan
is
for a lot of shit.
My effing show. And this is what we're going to do. And if you always can come to me with ideas, but if it doesn't suit the narrative or where we're going with the story, we're not doing it. And
what's annoying is people for this will push back and be like, well, the crown thing in the throne room was ad-libbed. It's like, yeah, and it fucking slammed.
So now they're going to give Rhaenyra a sword, and they clearly are because they worked it in last year with Rhaenyra looking at swords, trying swords. So, which is that shot you see right there. So, great. So, Fire and Blood doesn't tell the details of everything that's done, and Rhaenyra, there are people that will be dying in front of Rhaenyra in season 3. So now they're committed to, I think, if Rhaenyra's going to have a sword, they're committed to at least one scene where Rhaenyra actually herself kills somebody with a sword.
Yeah.
And people are going to be mad going, well, okay, we could have missed some details that the book doesn't tell you about some of these executions or some of these things that happen. But now you're saying if they end up doing that wouldn't we know in the book if Rhaenyra herself actually killed somebody with a sword?
Yeah.
That becomes a bigger historical moment within this fake story. So I don't know, man. This is these little things add up. They add up.
Absolutely. Well, and that's what George talked about in that blog post that he deleted. Is you've got all these moments that they're not. You take them by themselves. Like, what's the bridge?
Where the child dies.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. You would ask me. What is the child's name? There's
Maelor, right?
It's Maelor. It's a
Bitterbridge.
Bitterbridge.
Yeah. So you get things like Bitterbridge, and you remove them. It by itself,
Bitterbridge is gone. It's not going to be in the show.
Yeah, completely gone. There's no chance in hell. But you take these one moments and you remove it by itself, it doesn't really have that big effect. But just like butterflies, you take all these things away, and it completely changes how the story works.
Mm-hmm. And look,
and this shit
there's nothing wrong. Emma Darcy has done a great job playing Rhaenyra.
Absolutely.
Emma Darcy being nominated. I want a lot of different people nominated, from Game of Thrones series to the House of the Dragon. Patty Considine has been the best performance given in any of the Game of Thrones. I believe Lena Headey should have been nominated for Cersei.
Absolutely.
Cersei is one of the great villains in history. But it's Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, there are characters of different sexualities and different places, and nobody complains because it fits within the story. There's a place,
Exactly. Yeah.
no matter what you are on this planet or how you view yourself. The one great thing about Westeros and what George R. R. Martin has written, there's a place for you because there are people of all predilections.
Shit, there's even
religions.
places for sister fuckers.
Yes, there's. Not that I'm saying that someone's sexuality is equivalent of that, but I'm saying that there is a place for all religions and non-religions and thieves and people of honor and female characters that are in power, female characters are not in power. There's everything. So that's not the problem. The problem is Ryan Condal is forgetting that he's got source material.
Yeah.
And
it
George
really just seems like you know what? I am off on George. Fuck him.
Yeah, this scares me that he's going to be like, you know what? George has bitched about me. We're done with him. And so let's just tell our story. And so now it's going to be, who knows? But I'm also pissed at George because George R. R. Martin comes out and says, I'm not a fan of people that, use source material and then they don't stick to it. I'm like,
yeah.
Hey, George, how about drink your own medicine?
How about give us the fucking source material? I mean, come on. What are we on now? 4,400 days?
Or drink. Oh, yeah. It's been 13 years.
Yeah.
So like George is the ultimate hypocrite. So I do have some empathy for Ryan Condal of dealing with George. But at the same time, I mean, if you or I were adapting George's source material, I would be in constant communication with him.
Absolutely.
He's the creator.
As Mattson Tomlin is, as what's his name that's doing Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
Yeah. Oh gosh. And that guy that they're I think they're doing reshoots right now. It's Ira Parker.
Yeah. But don't forget that Ryan Condal is an executive producer on Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah, well, he's doing jack shit for that show, so we're lucky. Look, the good news is we do have a lot of stuff to cover for House of the Dragon before they finish the next 2 seasons. So not a lot of time for Ryan Condal to change up story and make new stories. He's got got to do.
Well, and look, I don't think we were going to see all of Bitter Bridge.
We were going to lose stuff regardless.
Yeah. Almost 4,900 days since the
And look, we know there's some really cool things that we're going to see that we'll be excited about. We'll see the Battle of the Gullet. We'll see the Fall of King's Landing. We'll see the Hour of the Wolf. We'll see the Battle of the God's Eye. We got so many things that we've got to see that are going to be, really, really cool. And then Ryan Condal is going to step out. He will not do another George R. R. Martin project.
Sure, yeah. Well, especially because the HBO Martin deal is over next year.
Yeah. Well, and look, if season 3 and 4 finish strong, House of the Dragon season 2 will not bother me in the slightest. Yeah. I'll still watch it as I go back and watch things in order. If it falls off the cliff, it will point to season 2 and go, man. And then what'll happen is people will just watch season 1 for Patty Considine.
Yep.
And
which honestly isn't a bad thing by itself.
No, it stands alone. So and then we got Night of Seven Kingdoms, and I do believe the movie we're going to see at the theater is going to be The Doom of Valyria, and it's going to lead us into Aegon's Conquest, which will be the TV series.
But the Doom happens while they're still over here.
Do what?
The Doom happens while the Targaryens have already left before the Doom.
Aegon's not born yet, though.
Yeah, he's not born. Yeah.
What I'm saying is that we'll see the Doom. We'll see there'll be scenes in the first episode of the Targaryens leaving Valyria, and then we'll see shots of them settling in Dragonstone, and we'll see
Yeah.
Valyria, and there'll be some drama around the families of Valyria and the Valerians.
Yeah, definitely the Valerians. Yeah.
You know, yeah, who's the other house? The
It's that knight is one of them. Shit. Oh, I can do my favorite thing. Yes. Say it again.
The Karstarks?
No.
Not the Karstarks.
The
Oh gosh, there were a few families that survived. I'm drawing up. It's Friday night, man. I'm drawing a blank. It's been a long week. Normally this stuff rolls off the tip of my tongue.
I know, dude. Valerian Celtigar.
The Celtigars.
Celtigar.
I said Karstarks. Yeah. Celtigars. Yeah. We're gonna see drama around Valyria, and it's gonna be a little bit of. I was watching Superman the original movie the other night, where Marlon Brando is on Krypton, and they're like, Jor-El, we're not going to have an earthquake. Like the planet's just realigning. If you keep talking about this, we're going to put you in the Phantom Zone that you yourself created.
Yeah.
And so I was watching it and I go, that's exactly what Doom of Valyria is going to be. I guarantee you it's going to be some character that stays behind in Valyria to try to save everybody, but is somehow tied in with the Targaryens or somebody. With a prophecy. There's going to be something where there's a character that preserves. And what will be really cool is if they...
She's not coming back, buddy. She's not coming back.
What would be really cool is if you do the Doom of Valyria and you have a character that is not a Targaryen, is not a Celtigar, is not a Valerian, and is someone that we haven't heard of before that preserves all the areas of knowledge, because the thing about Valyria was the rumors have been that it was built upon sorcery and witchcraft. You know how
blood magic,
blood magic, and so it's almost like the burning of the Library of Alexandria. Some character that preserves all the knowledge, like Jor-El did when he sent Kal-El to Earth. It's a character that we haven't seen before, and the movie ends with them, someone in their lineage leaving, but they don't end up in Westeros. That would be cool.
Where do you think they go? Basilisk House?
Well, you could go. Yeah, there's every direction but Westeros.
Well, what's west of Westeros?
Well, yeah, that could be where Arya ended up.
Yeah,
I mean,
I hope that Arya show doesn't happen.
But you see what I'm saying? Like when you get creative and you sit down with George and you go, "Can I tell this story?" And George goes, "Well, I never really went that deep in that. Here's some areas." Around, Ashai and around this and around this area. You could go there, you could do this. Kind of like when George would tell the expanded universe, hey,
100%, definitely.
You could do this, but you just can't talk about this era.
Yeah.
You can't talk about where Yoda came from. Like,
yeah.
And if you abide by those rules, then you have the blessing of the creator of the work saying, hey, this is a really interesting story. I never thought about it. And then if you wanted to tie it back into Westeros, in a later story, fine. So to me, like that's where it gets cool about when you world build and you go, hey, oh yeah, we're going to tell the story of Valyria, and you're going to have a Targaryen that's there still trying to, and a Celtigar and a Valerian and all these characters. And I'm like, what about somebody new? Like, and so to me, that would be cool. So I think there is no doubt the movie we're getting is going to be the Doom of Valyria.
So I definitely think we're gonna eventually get Robert's Rebellion. So do you think that's gonna be? You think? But see, I think that would be a better movie.
Okay, maybe you could pull that off as a movie, but
I think basically what you do, I think you either open it with a text that says,
what does that get you though? What does that get you? Warner Brothers and HBO, they're doing a movie to launch stories moving forward. Robert's Rebellion doesn't do anything but lead you up to the story you've already told.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why I don't think you get a movie. What I think you're going to get with Robert's Rebellion is you're going to get another show or something.
A mini-series.
Some series where we see flashbacks to the Battle of the Trident and the tourney, in things that led up to the rebellion.
Well, what you could do is you could get a show that's just Robert's first 20 years.
Look, I mean, if you go back
Or
to
10 years,
Westeros,
actually.
I know people talking about they don't want to see a season 9 and all that. The great thing about having Bran on the throne is he's going to be sitting around just going in the past.
Yeah.
And so,
That's why he's going to be a terrible king.
Yeah, terrible king, but great for a TV show for Visions. And we go,
Yeah,
oh shit, he's dreaming about Ned. He's dreaming, he's seeing Rhaegar and Lyanna. Like, that's
So
how
dumb.
you do it. I mean, God, don't get me started on Bran. We'll be talking for another hour. This
Yeah.
fucker knew. He
I
knew every
could.
single-
Who has
Bran was-
the best story? But
No,
Bran,
but
the
Bran
broken.
was like,
how about you?
hey.
How about you? Fucking Tyrion, you have a fucking awesome story.
Hey, Bran's like, I found out when I was 13 years old that 16 million people were going to die and I was going to end up on the throne. So instead of me telling all these people so that they maybe could survive, I just let them all die.
Or I was so boring, I disappeared for an entire season and nobody noticed.
Chaos is a ladder.
Oh my God.
And Littlefinger's like, damn it, I should have kept my eye on that kid. I knew he was
Yeah.
weird. Littlefinger, you're the most manipulative character in all of the Seven Kingdoms. And
absolutely.
You didn't think to keep your eye on the one guy who's speaking gibberish and has visions?
Right? Oh my God.
He's in front of him, and it's Sansa and Arya who's got like a knife.
Yeah.
and then there's Bran, and he never looks at Bran. He's like, Sansa, I love you. I'm like, hey, dude, there's a dude over there that has visions. You can't lie. He's gonna call you out on your shit.
Yeah. I remember, dude. I remember watching that and thinking, holy shit, she's actually gonna kill Arya.
I thought that was the weakest part of the.
I know that's I've never felt more got before.
Yeah,
the
thing that made me as mad as him, John killing Daenerys, was how they killed Varys.
Absolutely.
I was like, man, what a great character. And then and you could tell that Conleth Hill, when he read it on the table read, he was pissed.
Yeah. Well, they were all, you can go back and watch all of it, and through their tears of, ending their storylines, they're all pissed.
And then Emilia Clarke is looking at Kit. She's like, looking at him like, yeah.
And go back and look at all the interviews. All the interviews, you've seen them. They're all like, so what do you think about the ending?
Oh, Emilia Clarke. Yeah. She got in a little bit of trouble, even though it's a TV studio. So she's like, best season ever. Like, she was given all the tidbits.
Yeah.
And when Lena Headey had to put her arm around Conleth Hill, he was pissed. Like,
oh, absolutely.
Dude, I put in 7.5 years of this crap, and this is how you guys end it? Come on. Like, yeah. The only one that got like the best death, the best story arc of everybody on the show was Theon. Theon got his story.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he went out like a bitch.
Well, yeah, but he was fighting to the end to save Bran against the Night King.
But dude, that's like going loudly into the night.
Well, he couldn't. You could have maybe had him with Sansa, but they had her in the crypts.
Yeah,
so,
I think he should have been. I think he should have had an actual fight. Obviously, he doesn't have Valyrian steel, so it's not going to actually stop their blades. But he should have had a legitimate fight, not charging him with a lance that gets destroyed.
Let's game this real quick, but real quick before we wrap up, I know we got to get out of here. If we agree that that it was not good for the story to have Jon kill Night King, so and I don't agree that we shouldn't have had Jon kill him, but let's just say we agreed that it's not Jon because we're going to surprise the audience. Everybody sees that coming, and we're not going to give them that. So we agree on that, which is a faulty argument, but
absolutely
not Jon, and we say okay. But Arya's a possibility, but what about, to your point, having Theon have even better ending where Sansa is not at the crypts, or she hears all this great stuff and she's like, my family's up there, I'm going out. And she gets out of the crypts against Tyrion's wishes, right?
Yep.
And she races to the Godswood, to the weirwood tree, and as she's getting there, Bran is there and the Night King arrives, and you have you would have to change who got the dagger. So instead of Arya getting the dagger, Sansa is given it by Bran earlier. So now she's got the dagger, Sansa, not Arya, because she's got needle. Sansa has no weapon, so it would make sense to give her the dagger. Arya has needle. And so Bran has given it to her. So now she's running to Bran, but the Night King is there, and he's going to kill Sansa first because she blocks Bran. She blocks Bran from getting killed. And Theon, goes to stop the Night King, and as he's getting stabbed, he buys time for Sansa to stab the Night King, and Sansa's the one that kills the Night King. Would that have been a better death for Theon?
Yeah, for Theon, absolutely. I think it's still a dumb way to kill the Night King, but yeah, absolutely a better death for Theon.
There would have been more going on, or other than
because
just,
there's not. The problem is there wasn't really anything between Theon and Bran.
Right, there was nothing going on, and then all of a sudden the Night King's there, and
there
you
was
see,
no bond there.
Did Arya
Stark,
have?
Sure, but there's no. He's already not. He's not Stark anymore. He's the Three-Eyed Raven.
And it didn't make sense how you have Arya moving so fast that the hair blows on the guy, on the dead, as she's coming past him. And to your point, there's nothing going on. It's just Bran sitting there, and then he goes to, and then all of a sudden there she is. She's flying through the air. What is she, freaking Superman?
Yeah, no, don't, dude. I'm gonna be here for an hour and a half if we start this.
So that's my thought. That's just a little food for thought. But Theon still had a great arc. Great arc.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely he
Bronn,
definitely earned.
Bronn had a great arc.
Yeah. He definitely got some cojones back, but the whole thing, I think he should have. I think he should have fought to save his sister. I think that was dumb.
Yeah.
There's a lot that I think they kind of fucked up with Theon. Jumped off the boat. Jumped off the fucking boat. Just completely.
The guys go, "Hey man, what happened?" He said, "Oh, they took her." Well, where were you?
Exactly.
I was swimming.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
We got a lot to talk about as we get, because we're going to get another, I think, in the next 2 weeks. I think either the Super Bowl or Christmas time, we're going to get a longer trailer of Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Oh, it's Super Bowl, dude. Absolutely Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Which
Dragon in Super Bowl?
No, I don't think so. June? No.
No.
I think we got it.
No, the Super Bowl's in February. We got a trailer for House of the Dragon for Super Bowl.
I don't think so.
For season 1? I think we did.
For season 1, maybe, but season 1 season 1 started a little bit earlier, didn't it? Than season 2?
I can't remember.
It's
coming though. We're getting the Night of the Seven Kingdoms trailer. They've been done filming for a while.
Yeah.
So, we are getting it because they showed footage at the recent media thing, and they said,
but I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be some Warner production. I think it's probably going to be like the NBA All-Star game.
Okay, that would make sense. Yeah,
because I think that'll be on Max.
But you get a bigger audience for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Well, they're ready because they showed footage and people were commenting saying, "Oh man, I was surprised. There's humor. There's quite a bit of humor in this."
Yeah, so I also think that this whole thing that's going to be a comedy. I don't think it's a comedy. I think there is humor, but it's so different because there is no humor in Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon.
Well, there's
I think the mere presence of some humor makes it feel like it's a comedy.
There's humor in Game of Thrones. Bronn's pretty funny.
Yeah, but okay, yeah. So Bronn, and every like 8th scene with the Hound.
Yeah,
but beyond that, there's no humor. So I think that's why it's. I don't think there's not going to be a laugh track. We're not going to be giggling throughout the entire show. But I think there's going to be a couple times where we just go, "Holy shit, that's funny."
Yeah. I'm excited for it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Okay, man. Well, dude, I appreciate you for being on. Everyone in the chat, thank y'all so much. Had a lot of fun chatting about all this tonight. Now I'm going to go play some fucking Helldivers on the Illuminate.
I'm going to go watch The Agency with Michael Fassbender. I finished Day of the Jackal. Day of the Jackal.
Yeah.
Ended.
Yeah, you loved the ending, I heard.
Just when I thought you couldn't go any, you totally redeem yourself.
Yep. It was. Yeah, I definitely need to watch it.
Day of the Jackal, man.
Yep. Well, bud, I'm pretty sure I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, see you, bud.
See ya.